Hi and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm dealing with something that comes up all the time in my YouTube comments. Even though I talk about how Etsy's visibility system works, how you get more ranking, get more visible, get more sales, I keep seeing people talking about advertising, and in particular people that are already advertising. I see mostly Pinterest and Facebook. So people trying to get traffic from Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google into their Etsy store to make more sales. And I get it. I get it from your perspective. If you can get more traffic into your store and make more sales, that's great, right? It's a common thing. Let's get more business into our stores using advertising. However, let me explain why in most cases trying to get this advertising traffic into your Etsy store is a very bad idea. And again, I know I'm the only person telling you this. There's nobody else on YouTube saying this is a bad idea. They're saying it's a good idea. They're saying do it and bring Pinterest traffic in, Instagram, Facebook, and all these platforms to make you more sales. But I'm here today with deep experience to tell you why this is a bad idea. I will tell you what to do with advertising at the end of this video. But first of all, let me categorically explain to you all why you shouldn't be sending advertising traffic into your Etsy store. So first of all, before anything else, the number one point is lost revenue. Okay, so before I get into why it's really bad and you shouldn't be doing it, the first thing, lost revenue. You're sending paid traffic into your Etsy store to try to make sales, and then Etsy is going to charge you on those sales. And this reduces the margin of profit, or the ROAS, the return on advertising spend of your ad dollars. Okay, you're already making this much harder for yourself if you try to send this traffic into Etsy, because Etsy's going to take a cut of that money. So it's already not a good idea, even before I get to the real point of why you shouldn't be doing this. It's really tough. You're going to lose revenue. The margins are going to be lower. So with that said, let's now see why sending advertising traffic to your Etsy store is such a bad idea. So I'm going to draw a circle, okay? And this is the Etsy marketplace, okay? And this is what you guys are doing. You're already doing it, or you're thinking about doing it. Go and look in my comments. You'll see people saying, I'm advertising on Pinterest, I'm advertising on Facebook, right? This is why you shouldn't be doing it. Here comes the traffic, right? This is what you're doing. You're sending traffic from all these platforms into your Etsy store, right? Which is a tiny little part of the Etsy quality score or visibility ecosystem. So everything inside Etsy is where Etsy gives you visibility. If you make a sale inside Etsy, Etsy gives you visibility for that sale at the product level. So the visibility of the product is increased, right? Great. That only happens if the sale is made inside Etsy. So if the customer's inside Etsy, they're searching, they're looking, they're clicking, and they find your product and you make a sale, you get rewarded with visibility. If you send traffic outside into Etsy and you make a sale from outside, Etsy does not reward that sale with visibility. Don't take my word for this, try it. I've tried it, I've done this over and over again. If you make 10 sales on a product that start inside Etsy, your visibility goes way up on that product because you are giving Etsy the one thing it needs from you: trust. If you make sales inside Etsy, Etsy can then trust you. It's so simple. If you make a sale outside Etsy from Facebook, IG, Pinterest, Google Ads, how can Etsy trust you? How can they trust these traffic sources that you simply aren't gaming their system? Because you can go and pay an influencer on Instagram a couple of $100. They've got 100,000 followers, 150,000 followers. I don't know, right? I don't know what the actual fees are for this, but it will be in the hundreds of dollars. And they send traffic into your Etsy store, loads of it. And you start to make 5, 10, 15, 20 sales over a weekend, but you never did that normally. It's not normal for your store to suddenly make 20 sales over a weekend, right? Etsy, if Etsy rewards those sales with visibility, that listing goes pretty much straight to the top of discoverability. Search results, Etsy will push your listing in other places. But you've just basically paid to be there. There's no trust there. Etsy didn't see you get those 10, 15, 20 sales from customers naturally looking inside Etsy and finding the product. No, you paid to be there. You funneled huge amounts of traffic in there to get these 10, 15, 20 sales, and those sales came in quickly. And then what happens? If Etsy rewarded those ad traffic sales, your listing gets skyrocketed in visibility, but then doesn't sell. It doesn't sell because the people inside Etsy, they don't want it. Etsy has to know that the traffic and people inside Etsy want your stuff. That's why this doesn't work. That's why they will never ever give you the visibility from the external traffic, because it is not trustworthy, because the traffic isn't inside Etsy. It comes from outside Etsy. Now, I'll say it again. I know I'm the only person saying this. I know that everybody else on their YouTube channels are giving you all sorts of varying information about ads, and it's basically all saying something along the lines of use advertising, do Pinterest ads, do Facebook ads, right? I know that. And I know you guys are getting bogged down with me saying one thing, then other people saying another thing, and it's confusing, right? But I'll just say this. I've been doing this job 10 years. I've worked with thousands and thousands and thousands of stores. I've generated millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue for my clients. And I do this job every day, day in, day out, week in, week out, and I see the data, I test it, and please listen to what I'm saying. You've got to choose someone, right? If you don't choose someone to listen to, you just listen to everyone and get nowhere. It's like Etsy soup. It ends up being a muddy brown color. You're sitting there all confused and you don't know what to do. So I'm a good bet. I'm a good bet to listen to and learn from so that you can further your Etsy business. So final bit on it, well, what do you do with advertising? You know, there's nothing wrong with advertising, but you just have to understand the mechanics of it and how it works. So if you are going to advertise, you must send the advertising traffic to your website. Send it to your website so that you don't get the extra charges from Etsy, so that you don't have this lack of visibility. Why do that? That's crazy. Just send it to your website where you get full reward, right? You get more revenue. You don't get lack of visibility. You just make your sales, build your customer base. All good. That's what you should be doing. So what I want to know is, in the comments, tell me, are you advertising on any of these platforms? There's TikTok as well. I'll just put TikTok. I know TikTok. I used to be on TikTok. I don't really work on there anymore. But are you using any of these platforms? Tell me how it's going. What's happening in your Etsy store if you're using advertising? How has it gone? Have you made sales? Are you in profit? Do you even know if you're in profit? Loads of sellers don't even know if they're profitable. They run ads, they're making some sales, but they don't know if they're making money because of the costs involved in creating their products. Tell me what's going on with your advertising on Etsy. And remember, if you want to work with me, as always, don't wait, don't guess. The booking now button is coming up on the screen. This takes you to a booking page to book a free discovery call with me, one-to-one on Zoom, so that I can talk to you about how I can help you in paid consultations or mentoring to further your Etsy business. I look forward to catching you in the comments and catching you in a consultation. Cheers.